squirrels.
I'm doing it.
Now then, crew, and welcome to the Andy Mechanic YouTube channel. And I've got Tool Girl Sam back again.
Always.
Yeah, it's pretty damn cool actually. And I am losing my voice a little bit. I'm full of cold. So please forgive the weird Andy Mechanic voice at the moment. But we've got to roll on because there's jobs to do. Now, on this one, because I've got my Gearbox expert with me today, we're going to, I've been given a Gearbox and transfer box combination out of a Mitsubishi Pajero. I have no idea the age or model that this gearbox was taken out of. Basically, it was left at a house that a guy moved into. Didn't want to throw the gearbox away. He thought, hey, you know, this got to be useful to somebody. And he flicked me an email and said, Andy, I'm in Auckland. If you want them, come and get them. And I'm not the kind of guy that says no. You should all know that by now. Yeah. So we're going to basically pull off the transfer box, separate the transfer box from the back of the gearbox. Sam's already pulled apart a rear wheel drive gearbox, so there's no need for Sam to do that all over again. It's been a long day today. But once we've got the transfer box separated, what we'll do is we'll pull that apart and have a look inside. Now there's different designs of transfer box, and you'll find transfer boxes in four-wheel drive vehicles usually. And inside the transfer box, like on the little Suzuki SJs that we used to have, they were just a set of gears, basically. You'd have the input shaft, you'd have an intermediary shaft, and then you'd have the output. So basically three shafts inside that gearbox. And you'd have a selector where you could select between high ratio and low ratio. And you could also select four-wheel drive, which would allow the drive to go to the front wheels on that particular vehicle. When you're in two-wheel drive, drive would go out to the rear wheels, only. Put it in four-wheel drive, it just connects the front axle. We also had Nissan Patrols, and they had, believe it or not, a chain drive for the output to the front wheels, which is really weird. I hadn't come across that before. But the drive to the rear wheels, because that carried the majority of the torque, that was gear driven. And I also know that things like Range Rovers, Land Rovers, they tend to use a chain drive system inside that transfer box. The only downside, and we had a problem with one of the Patrols, is over the years, as the chain stretches and wears, we had a Patrol where if it was under tremendous load in low box, say you're rock crawling or something, the chain would actually jump on the cog, just like a motorcycle chain would do, jumping on the sprockets. And it was a bit of a problem, and obviously ultimately the chain snapped, it failed completely. Now, I don't know what's inside this. I have a sneaky suspicion it might have a chain. I just don't know. But there's one way to find out, isn't there, Sam?
Tear it up.
Tear it up. Yeah, we're going to pull it apart, throw parts around the workshop. Sam's buzzing bolts out, left, right and centre. They'll be flying around the place. But hey, it doesn't matter because this transfer box is not going back together. It's just a bit of an autopsy. Let's dig our way inside and see what we find. There might be something wrong with it. Maybe that's why it was left in the garden. Who knows? Right, ready?
Yep.
Cool, me too. Here we go. This is a bit heavier.
Looks like it.
It is. It's crazy. Okay. Right. Okay. There we go.
This. Is there anything to do with it? Yes.
These bits
Ah.
are the bits that go through the. It has been. Look, it's full of water. Look. So the chap did tell me he drained all the oil out for me, but
Water is another story.
it's going to be full of water, I reckon. So that one is for your normal gears. So that's your first, second, third, fourth, fifth, reverse stuff. And this lever here goes into there, into the transfer box, and that basically changes the gears from high, well, it puts from 2H to 4H, and then you can then go from 4H through a neutral gate to 4 low. You've been in the 4-wheel drive before, haven't you? Yeah, so you've got 4 low, and the 4 low is what you use for all the fun stuff.
Yeah.
Cool. Alright, so he'd already taken those bits off and just says, oh, you can have these if you want them, but obviously it's going to be completely redundant coming up shortly. So what have we got? We've got quite a bit of electrics going on here. Look at all these. We've got all these little wires and things, little switches. So there's one there, 2 more here. that doesn't go anywhere. Oh, that's off that one, isn't it? Okay, alright. Another connector down here, and then we've got these funny little things down here, which I have no idea what they are. Just don't know. Okay, so we've got drive in from the clutch again. Doesn't sound too good, does it? So your drive from the clutch comes in to the main gearbox. This is your normal gearbox. And then the output of that one then goes directly into the transfer box. And then out of the back of the transfer box, it then drives the rear wheel. Rear wheels are out of here on a normal prop shaft. And then the drive to the front, which you can't see on the camera, but you will when we move it around, that's the drive to the front wheels. Okay, and always you're going to have drive to this, unless of course you're in neutral on either gearboxes. Other than that, you'll have drive here, but you'll only have drive to the front wheels when you're in 4H or 4 low. And I reckon, possibly, looking at the outside of the transfer box, there may be a chain inside there. Might be. Nice, there was. Okay, so as regards splitting this, I haven't pulled one of these apart before, not this style. On the Nissan Patrols we were able to separate the transfer box from the gearbox just by a ring of bolts. I'm hoping we can do the same with this one. On some four-wheel drives, you've got to sort of dig your way through the transfer box, take all that apart first to then strip the gearbox. And that's a real ball ache. That's no fun for anybody. And of course, it's covered in mud.
Yep.
But it's okay, because it's not going back together again. As long as we can work around the mud, it'll be alright. Okay, so we've got a ring of bolts that run around here. My only concern is we've also got the input to the gearbox going into the transfer box. So there must be a shaft that runs through there into the gearbox. So I think the first job will be to take all these covers off. We've got a cover here, and another cover here. So we can actually see inside the gearbox. And it'll give us an idea what we need to do to disconnect those two components. Yeah? Yeah. Alright, so it's going to be lots of 12mm bolts, which means fun. Zoom! Bolts fly everywhere. Right, so you need your little windy gun again. We've got a tray for all your bolts. We need a 12, so you'll have to use the rectifier. We haven't got a 12 in there. Right. Yay. God, I really am losing my voice now, aren't I? Okay, that's for you.
Yeah.
I'll put this over here. I'll try and tell you what, you stand here because you're nearer the bolts then. I'll stand this side. And probably do that cover there first. Let's see what's under that. So you've got 4 bolts there. I think one of them is bigger actually. Look, one's a 14. There you go. Chuck it in the trailer. There you go. Jeez. Right, too big one. This one. Awesome. Right. I brought a spanner, just knock that one out. Yeah. Could have find some carnage, wouldn't it? I like that's a hell of a long bolt. Okay. Oh yeah. Cool. Okay. So remember on the previous gearbox we've got the 3 selector rods. Mm-hmm. And we've got this linking shaft. So the main gear lever, the gearbox gear lever goes in here, but there's just a linking bar between the two. So maybe we just have to knock that roll pin out. You love roll pins, don't you?
Yeah.
Roll pins everywhere. Okay, before we decide what to do though, let's pull some more off. So if you undo all of those bolts, and we'll get that cover off as well. Jesus Christ. So dangerous. Yeah, it's a long one, wasn't it? And he's already taken 2 out by the looks of it, hasn't he? Oh, it went in the gearbox.
Oh my god.
Did it drop down inside the gearbox?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, we'll find it later on. That will be a rookie mistake, won't it? For Remember, you can modulate the throttle a little bit. Right, so we need a hammer. So we Just give it a little tiny tap. Hopefully not too much mud's going to go inside. Doesn't really matter too much. Ooh, look at the size of those gears in there. They're massive, aren't they? A lot bigger than what we saw in the other gearbox. You know why? Was that lunch? Excellent. It's because there's a lot more torque. You know, more torque, the bigger the gears you need. All right, let's do the big bit. Okay, so just push that around a bit. Sorry. There you go. So you've got a few more around there. Look, let's see if we can get those buzzed out. They even left the bell housing bolts in front. Jesus. Shit. I love taking it. It's so much fun. It's like no responsibility but pure. All the fun with no responsibility. Go on, you get that one. I'm not scared. I'm not scared of it.
Sure.
A little bit. Bloody hell. Is that all of them? Is there one there?
Just a whole bunch of dirt.
Big part of the bigger one. You can't make things too impossible for us, can they? Right, so we've got another. Hey, guess what that is?
The reverse thing.
Yes, reverse light switch. You got it. Really good. Now, of course, I would have got a spanner up here. No. What's wrong with that? Oh, yeah. Right, give that a tap up. Go on. You got it, right. So that should now, yeah, you can wind that out. I'll take your stuff off. Right.
So dirty, it's just like crumbling.
It's filthy, isn't it? Right, chuck that over here, all of the bits. So there you see, same principle, plunger, switch. So if your reverse lights aren't working, it might be that's failed, you never know. Okay. Now the problem we've got is, I think the selector rods are mounted inside this cover, but they protrude through. So we're back to roll pins again. I think we're going to pop those roll pins off. Right. Lots of roll pins. Bigger one this time though. You know what bigger roll pins need?
Bigger chisel.
Bigger, yeah, and a bigger whack as well. Okay. Right, so I'll give one a go. Oh man, is that really going to go out of there? You know, maybe that cover will come off. Let's give it a go. Because those roll pins don't look like they're going to want to punch downwards. Because that one's going to hit the casting. See if we can ease this up. I know this is the gearbox, not the transfer box, but we're having to do this to get the transfer box taken off. How'd you come up? Let's just see how far we can get with that. That's tight. That doesn't want to go on, does it? In theory, it's only that roll pin we have to get out, actually. Because we're going to split it here, aren't we? Yeah, that's part of the shafts. Oh, no it's not. Right, there's a roll pin here as well. And that one will punch through. So I think we've got to pop that roll pin out. And then that shaft will come out of the transfer box. He says with complete confidence. Not use too much magic up. Right, perfect. So that now will move. So when we split these off, that should then come through. Right, it's going to be spanners because we can't get in with the Wendigo. So, jeez, it's going to take ages. I bet Ben's got a right. Right, Sam. No idea. Gotta be professional. And a washer under the mud. This reminds me of working on the Jeeps at home. This is exactly what it was like. Never washed anything. People will put in the comments, "You're an animal, you should have washed the gearbox before you stripped it." You are correct. Sleep deprivation came in there. Wasn't going to help. Cheers, Sam. Can I get in there? Not with that one. These are unnervingly loose for a big gearbox like this. So what do you have for lunch?
Sushi. Oh. Always sushi.
Sushi. You didn't think to get me in, did you? Hmm. What did I have? Tuna sandwich. Default sandwich.
Basically.
Yeah. So close. My fingers were meant for this kind of stuff. Right. Another one down here. Oh man, there's brackets everywhere. Okay. Oh, bent bracket, that's why. There we go. When you get when your fingers start to seize up and you get pain.
Yep.
Is it arthritis or something? I don't know. But it won't. Got to show the people. Makes it hard to work on though. Right. You know, a guy told me off once for hitting the spanner with the palm of my hand. And he goes, "Was it you I was showing, or was it Toolgirl Hannah? I can't remember. I was showing them how they can crack off the nuts using giving the spanner a whack." I got told off for it. Yeah. But that's alright because it's my hand, and I've lost all feeling from hitting spanners with it anyway, so it makes no difference. Maybe that's what he was on about. Don't do that, you'll lose feeling in your hand. Too late. Right, Sam. I'm not sure if that's all done or not. God, it's a lump, is this? No, there's one more. Good job I looked. We'll be hammering it and cursing because it won't come apart. So what's wrong with your car at the moment?
Headlights, dip lights are too high.
So headlight adjustment then, yeah?
And the adjusters are broken.
Yeah.
So you can't adjust it. Woo!
Cool. So we just got to put, if we can't adjust it, we've got to put more, less weight in the boot. That'll dip them down, won't it?
There's barely anything even in here anyway. So it means I have to take out the spare tyre.
Yeah, pretty much. I'll just blow the rear tyres up lots with the airline and just let some air out the front tyres. That'll work, right? I'll get through the headlight. And what about your wheel nut? Wasn't there a wheel nut fell off?
Yeah, they just break because the people at the shop tighten them too hard.
They over tighten your wheel nut. That's not good. You don't want your wheel falling off. That'd be another reason for closing the motorway. Tall girl Sam, last seen driving down ditch with 3 wheels.
Pretty much. I'm expecting it to happen.
You could do. Right, so we've got all of those bolts now removed from here. So I'm hoping we can split the gearbox off the transfer box now that we've removed that roll pin as well. There is a bit of oil left in there. That should be fun. And it's in drive actually. Okay, so magic hammer. Here. You're good at hammering shit, aren't you?
Yep.
Okay. So if you hit the gearbox that way,
With
yeah,
this
and
side.
use the hefty side. We'll spare the cows for today. And you're looking to see if that starts to open up as a gap around this joint. All right, give it a go, Sam. It's a really big gearbox, so you can hit it very hard. Try and hit it down here, look, on this bit. That big casting bit's quite strong. It's done nothing, has it? Has it started to split or not?
No.
No. Okay. I don't know if it's going to work or not, we'll see. Oh, look!
What was it?
It's part of the gearbox.
Oh, well.
Wow, didn't expect that to happen. Okay. We suddenly entered a whole new realm of danger there. Jeez. That should really just come off there because the shaft just slides in. Problem is that it's been together for so many millions of years. Probably going to get oil. Yeah, Sam, you're on oil control duty. Oil slick. Not even trying to split, is it? So we've got, see down there, there's a dowel, and that'll be all rusted into the aluminium. Hence probably why it's not coming apart. Oh, there's a dead fly in there. How does a dead fly get inside a gearbox? Cut. Right then.
Wow.
Golly. Things I have to do.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if it wouldn't open because of the amount of shit on it. Right?
Yeah, it's... He who dares, Rodney. He who dares. Right, more down here. That was really well stuck. And sometimes you just gotta go with it, haven't you? You know, instinct. Now, if we had a workshop manual for this, page 37 would have said separate gearbox after you've done all this other stuff, but we don't have time for that. Right, Sam. Let's see if we can get a pry bar in there. God, jeez. So the screwdriver was the right answer. It hasn't really. There's a lot of gasket around there, so we can get away with that. And that bit came off there, look, with the roll pin. So that can go. We're finished with that now. It's done. And you can see just in there, look, that's the output of the gearbox. And that just slots straight into there on the transfer box. So they are two totally separate gearboxes. Very similar kind of setup to the Patrol, actually. Which is good, because, you know, That's what I was hoping. Wow. Good stuff. Okay, we'll get rid of that. We'll rejig the camera. We'll pull this apart. Have a look inside, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, well I think first job. Let's get rid of the tunnel. So that's that ring of bolts around there again. So if you grab your, yeah, 12s again, we're in luck. Jeez, it's got a massive great damper on it and stuff, the vibration, see that there, look? Huge. Okay. Oh, do you want an extension bar for it? Might do.
Yeah.
Oh, it's got oil leak. Catch that, okay. How's the shirt? Is it good?
Good.
Feels like you're professional.
Yeah.
Me too. Nothing on the inside, just looks good from the outside.
Yeah.
Oh, and again. It's a big one. Keep going. Way! Jeez. Okay. Next. That's what they're saying in New Zealand. Oh, be careful with that. I could whack you in the face. Alright, go on. And again. Perfect. Alright, spin it around. So you've got 1, 2. There you go, Sam. So dangerous. I'm going to keep hold of this. Take your teeth out if you're not careful. Right, I think. Oh, another one there, look. That's it, yep. Cool, yeah, that was a lot safer, wasn't it? And all that gunk there, that's thread lock, so they don't come undone on their own. Okay, right, well you can do the, oh, there's one more. There, look, hiding. Okay, so we're going to have to get this out. Oh, I get to use my screwdriver again. 10 tools are going to hate me for this. So that's what you call mechanics intuition. I saw these little notches on the thingy. Look. Give it a whack. See what happens. Seems to be getting tighter again. It was a back of bayonet. I wonder if it's just a... Sometimes you might just have to line it up. Then it might just come out. You didn't think that was going to work, did you? No? A bit more? There you go. What's that?
No idea.
Well, what was the gear like on the last gearbox we pulled apart? Remember the nylon gear on the output shaft? Speedo drive.
Oil.
Yeah, oil, yeah. That's the speedo drive, that's the pickup. So on the old cars, they used to have a speedo cable. You know, like a spinny cable up to the speedo. Nowadays, it's all electronic sensors, there's not that kind of crap. Alright, Sam, last one. Let's do it. It's annoying, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really annoying. Alright, go for it. And again. Go on, one more. Awesome. They're really tight, aren't they, those?
Yep.
Okay, that's all the bolts. If you come here and you can give it a whack with the...
Smells.
It's the same oil.
Ugh. Where am I whacking it?
We're going to get that little tunnel off the end, so you need to give that thing a whack. If you use the Mookow end, less chance of breaking it. Keep going. Don't be scared. Is it breaking up? Everything on this is really, really tight. So we go, see if I can just get it to split.
whole
Right.
thing split.
There you go. Right, pull it off. Cool. This is why you clean gearboxes before you start pulling them apart, because everything gets covered in crap.
Yeah.
It's alright because it's going in the bin. Okay, so now what we've got here are some huge bolts. We've got one there, one there, one there, and loads more little ones. So we've got to undo all of those next as well, and they're all 14s. And we'll do these big ones first, I think. There are 17 by the looks of it. 17. See if your little rattle goes up to the job, eh?
Mhm.
Full power. Alright, go for it. Yep. That was a short thing. What was that? Oh, that was a filler. Oh, that's alright. That's just a filler bung. And that one?
Yeah, unclicked it. Oh, just felt really weird.
That's probably just the drain then. Cool. Now we're easy. I did see some more 17s around here. So, can you get on that one? Yes. One more there. Awesome. Right. Feel the weight of that. That's a max damper.
Oh my god.
That's just part of the car to stop it, to stop the vibration. So it's like comfier inside the car.
Okay.
Right, so you can see we've got this big cover now, and we've got this huge ring of bolts. Before we go any further, I'd like to take this cover. This is called the PTO output cover. So we're going to whip that off and get it out of the way, just while it's being held in place. Alright, so we need the 12 back on again. Have you got the 12? There we are. Ow! So freaking dangerous, woman. Right. So that ring of bolts there, look, we'll just get this cover out of the way first. There you go. That's the one. Really? When you're using the rattle gun, always push down, because the threads will pull it up. That's it, you got it. One more. Genius. Okay, so taking the screwdriver back in action again. Just give it a little. Everything's so well glued together. Ta-da! So it's just a cover. And on some of these, they'll have a PTO drive output on there, like a bigger cover, and maybe some kind of flange arrangement so you can run a winch and things off them. Pretty good. Okay, so we've got this big ring of bolts now, so we need a 14. Which is that one there? Oh, I've got oil on my screwdriver. There you go. Right. So you stand on that side, and I can control better from here. Okay. This is your favourite bit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, that one. Probably get the one above it as well.
There's another one.
There's going to be lots more further out, I think, yeah. Jeez. Imagine if you were undoing them by hand with a ratchet.
Yeah. Terrible.
Ooh, right, 2 more. Can you get it? Here we go. One more. You might need an extension bar on that one. You got it. Oh, tension there. It's too tight. The angle though. Okay, thanks. There you go. It gets doubly dangerous when you've got an extension bar on when you're around. Okay, another one there, look. looks like we're going to have to get rid of some of these switches and bits and pieces. So, oh, one there. That'll do. We can get to that one. Okay. Get rid of all that. And another one there. Look. It's mud, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've got all these bits going on. Andy, don't do that. We hate you. Don't really, surely. Rubbish. We'll save those though, because I can use those for the stuff. All the same colour. What the hell? Look for the red wire with the blue tracer. No problem. Easy. Not. Right. So I reckon that's all those big bolts out of the way, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we've got, I've just spotted a snap ring as well. We like snap rings, don't we? Right, we've got a snap ring to take out that bearing, and then the bearing will stay on the shaft and the cover will just come off, hopefully. We may have to undo, I think those can stay in place, but we may have to undo these because behind here will be those detent springs and ball bearings again. If we don't undo them now, they're all going to fire around the gearbox. So we're probably better off doing them now. So, you've got a 14 on there, right? Jeez, okay. Gingerly. It's like delay reaction, just keep the throttle on for the 3 seconds. Alright, go on. See what we've got behind these. Alright, keep going. 2 more. Lethal you are. Right, 1 more. Okay. Torch time, I think. Not too short, isn't there? Let's have a little look. What can you see, Sam? Can you see any springs and ball bearings or not? No? Cool, that's good news. Right, 1 more there then. Lethal! Look at that, you even marked the metal. Alright. Okay, so snap ring time, flat screwdriver, which is just there, covered in oil. And you need the little tiny flat one. So if I give it a lever, can you get that underneath the snap ring again like you did last time? See that gap there, look at the top? Lock it in there. That's it, you got it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Team effort. Look at that. Easy. Okay, so we saw that drop down as well when it came out, didn't we? So we know that that's gonna come off all right. Okay, so we've got the next problem of getting this casing to separate. And normally you wouldn't do this. You would not use a screwdriver and pry your way in, but there is actually a gap on this side. It's such a nice noise when you hear it break free. Thank God for that. Okay. So the same on this side. Can you just steady that for a sec? Just hold it there. I'll give it a little tap on this side. Right. Yeah, kidding me, there's another snap ring. No, it's a spacer. Put it in. That's why it's not coming off. Look. Right. Okay. Try again. That should really. got we've got a selector rod playing up, so I think we need to take these out and take that out. So can you get your rattle gun again? We'll just buzz that one out. There you go. Standing back.
Oil.
Cool. Right, I need a spanner now. What size is it? 19 sort of. Look bigger than that though. Yeah. 22? Yes. It was a wire. Didn't have a wire on that one, did it?
No, it didn't.
So it's broken. So we found our first fault.
Yup.
That should have a wire on it. The switch isn't going to work, is it? So basically the switches here that tell something at the other end when it's in four-wheel drive high, when it's in two-wheel drive high, all that kind of stuff. That's what all these switches are doing. So here will be the two selector rods probably. I'm sure Ben will have to make use of all these switches. So much money. It reminds me of when I had to rebuild a gearbox on a tractor in the middle of a field. Talk about mud.
Yeah,
That
it
was
wasn't
just-
fun.
It was horrendous. It was really, really bad. Right, guess what you can see in there, Sam?
The ball joint.
You see the little ball bearings?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we need to get those out. So we can find a screwdriver and some remote. Maybe. No, right enough. Let's try that one. Oh, that's good. Oh yeah. Yeah, you can get rest out. Because you're professional. You coming in? It's a pretty piss weak magnet. If we stick that on there, we can make it big, make it stronger. You like that, didn't you?
That's cool.
That was magic.
Oh.
You're going to think about that for weeks now, aren't you? How did that work?
Mind blown.
Blew you away. Right. One more bolt to buzz out here, by the looks of it. I'm not too sure what's behind that one, but we should have a little look first. Spring!
And the rest of it.
And a little ball bearing. Excellent. Okay, that's what we need out. So we need that other one.
Got it.
Reflexes there. Fantastic. Right. So this now, hopefully, it's going to come off and leave the selector rods where they are. Hopefully, he says. Watch out your fingers. So why is that not coming off? I've just seen something that I really like. It's made it all worthwhile, Sam. What can you see in there?
Chain. Oh my god.
Oh yeah! Very rare putting a chain one at that. Right. Jesus, sorry. Why is it not separating? There shouldn't be too much more. That's a fill. That can't be it. All the bolts are out. It's a positive stop, isn't it? we have to take those roll pins out of those pins. So, put that together for a minute. Try not to get your P90 on the shirt. Yeah. Okay. 10mm spanner, Sam. Can you grab one for me? Out of the toolbox. So it looks like we're going to have to ping these roll pins out of the end of the starter shaft. So first of all, I'm going to remove this. Now this is when you go across with the transfer box lever into lower box, there'll be an extra bit of force, like when you go into reverse on a normal gearbox. And inside there's a spring that acts against that little plunger to give the driver that extra feel, so that he knows he's going into the lower box. So we'll get that out of the way, then we should be able to pop those roll pins out with relative ease, I think. Now, you're making mental note of everything else because you're going to put that together one day.
No.
No, don't do that to me. I have so many nuts and bolts now, it's great. Right, that's not going to fit. Have we got a 10mm socket? Yeah. See if we can get in with a ratchet in there. A bit tight. Oh, okay. Downsize of it. Baby ratchet. Maybe, just maybe. Oh, look at that. Always a tool for the job. Right, so that's that out. Oh yeah, that's that little spring plunger. Now I'll test your finger strength, see if you get it out. See if you can push it all in.
No, I can't even push it a bit. Ah.
Too much. It's been a long day already, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Smaller punch required. There we go. It's in the bottom of the gearbox now. That's that one done. Okay, so we should now be able to lift that top cover off. Maybe. Unless it's got any more devious plans for us to annoy us. There we go. See, there's a special little recess for a screwdriver. Nice and wide. Ta-da! It's fantastic. Right, oh my word, what have we got in here? Well, there's the chain. That's a hell of a chain, isn't it? It's pretty cool. A bit more than your chain you get on your bicycle, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a real chain. What's this thing? Well, that's the drive in, isn't it? And the drive out is, oh no, drives in's here. So that's the drive to the rear prop shaft. So that's your rear wheels. Drives in down here, and then we've got the drive to the front. So this chain here won't always be split, it won't always be turning. It'll only be turning when you're in four-wheel drive. If you look down there, there's a huge, oh. So I'll just take this bit off out of the way. There we go, look. Oh, it's got a centre diff. That's what that is. It's a diff. Remember we did diffs?
Yeah.
So those are your differential gears. Right, change of plan then. If it's got a centre diff, then it's permanent four-wheel drive. So the front and the rear wheels are always being driven all the time, like on a Range Rover. So that chain is spinning all the time. Pretty cool. I like that. I like the way it just falls apart on you. Wow. So that's the diff. Let's put it back in there. We'll get back in. Something like that. Bloody good. Okay, so what else can we do? Well, I think we need to spin it around. There's an inspection plate here. We should buzz that off because we may need to undo something inside to pull things apart more. Usually why they give you an inspection plate. I'm well chuffed to find a chain. That is awesome. Sure I can find a really good use for that. Right, Sam, so you need a 12mm on your rattle gun again. So if you pull the extension bar off, I'll give you your 12. There you go. Coolio. Right. Go for it. Zoom. Right, 3 more. Lethal. Right, flat screwdriver again. There's my hammer. If I had an hammer.
Oh, peeky
Wow,
peek.
look at that, big gears. Really good. So that is how we get low and high ratio. Pretty good. Doesn't tell us anything more than that though, unfortunately. So how are we gonna? I want to get this chain off. So, oh, that looks good. I like that idea. Oh yeah.
That's
Oh,
something,
half
yeah.
bearing. Look at that. That's the other part of the diff. Yeah, have a chain. Look at that.
Oh my god.
Cool, isn't it?
It's a lot bigger than a bike chain. When it being.
Only just though. It's quite stiff, isn't it?
Yeah, and heavy.
Pretty cool. It's very, very different design to the Patrol, actually. It's great to see a different way of doing things. And then we've got all these half bearings, look. See, there should be normally they're a full circle like that, all one piece. They make them in 2 halves, so they're easy to fit. We've got a fair few of those. There's 2 more down here, there we are, another one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, perfect. Wow. Another one, all these bearings. And then we've got the 2 select shafts, which should now pull out, so there's one. And that one will probably come with the collar actually. Should come out. I took the roll pin out. Maybe. Let's have a little look. More bits. Oh, I think it's still just caught on the roll pin. I think. Hasn't quite gone all the way out of the bottom, it's just dragging on the shaft a little bit. Damn you. Although, by the looks of it, I can punch it through because, yes. Yes, I'm ready. There we go. Done. There, look, you see the roll pin? Still stuck in there. It hadn't quite dropped down.
This shit. Oh my god.
Look at the size of that. It's massive.
And this is still like connected amongst.
Yeah. Heaps going on. Okay, so we'll get rid of that. That goes down there. And there's no synchro on the high and low, so that's why if you rush it, it's going to crunch. Okay. So I think all this comes out this way, by the looks of it. Those are our roll pins. Oh, there's a spring.
Huh.
That was off that shaft, I think. It's not good, is it? So we're going to have to undo those funny starry things in there, and that'll release the plate, and then all of that lot, the main shaft will withdraw. Have we got the right size? That's the question. I dare say, actually, if we could make a buckle, that would probably fit around your waist.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Literally, would probably weigh it down and be like.
Yeah, you wouldn't be running anywhere, would you? No. And don't ever go swimming with it on. Straight to the bottom. It's probably the wrong size ratchet. I think they're going to be a bit too tight for this setup. But we'll find out. Can you grab onto that, Sam, for us? Just wedge it against the bicycle. All right, you ready? Just bring it round there. Try that, and then just hold it tight against the vice now. Yeah.
Holy shit.
That's one. Got it. I thought I broke the socket. Actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite a big ask for such a small, for a 1/4 inch. Yeah. Little fingers. Good. Right, brace yourself, you ready? Oh, that was easy, that one. So it looks like we're in pretty good nick, this gearbox. We destroyed another good gearbox, haven't we? I'm sure the world will be fine. You alright? You ready?
Yeah.
You scared? Anything could go wrong with that.
Yeah, I don't know what's gonna fucking go.
It's very dangerous. Right, let's see if we can twizzle it round. 3 more to go. Okay. Got it. Two more left to break the socket. Ready? Okay. Now this is the one that will break the socket because it's sod's law, isn't it? Ready? Sorted. Somewhere in there. Okay. Nice. Everything's covered in grit now. Okay. Oh, maybe there's a circlip. Maybe it lied to us. There might be a circlip behind that seal. Could be. there was a circuit, how the hell did you get it out? I don't know. Let's give it a bit of a help, just to see. Yeah, that's solid, isn't it? Okay. Ooh. Found another circuit down here. There. And there, look, Sam. It's been an ass. Is it pub time yet? Oh, God, I hate you. Look at that. Thank the Lord. Arsehole. And now I've munched up that shaft so much it won't come off. That cider is going to taste so good tonight. Okay, that's that bit out of the way. I don't think we're any better off though. That really should just come out of there. It sounded rough now. How the hell is that shaft at the bottom there? Ah. Right, Sam, got a bolt, 12 mil. Buzz it off. You might need your extension bar though, I think, to get in there. Yeah, you got the extension now. I'll take it off. Cool, yeah. Right, so Fred, there you go. You can close that one out there for us. I can get rid of that lay shaft. There you go. Still as dangerous as ever. And that's just a little tag that holds that lay shaft in place. So now, oh look at that, my fingers. Nearly. Lay shaft. Now to pull that punch out. Ta-da! More bits, more bearings. So that's the high and the low ratio. There, look, two different ratios. Found. Thrust washer. Okay. That should. I think that should come out of there. I really do think it should come out. There's not a lot else going on. Has to be a circlip. Okay, let's get rid of that seal. 2 seals in it.
Huh.
It's got original grease in there as well. It's getting us. See if I can get near that one. There we are. 2 seals. Pretty impressive. Alright, that's what we're looking for. Oh, it's a little baffle plate, leave that out. And I'm guessing that behind that baffle plate is a circlip. Yes, there we go. Oh yeah!
Of course.
It's not often I'm wrong. I might be, not very good sometimes, but not often I'm... Oh man, circlips. This is just going to finish me off now. Oh, come back.
It's raining now.
It is, isn't it? You'll need a new one of these. Oh, sparks! You see that?
Nope.
You missed the fun. Jeez, it just doesn't want to give up, does it?
Hey, you!
How long did that take? Really?
15 minutes, I think.
Man,
Least.
I feel older now. Right, Sam, let's do this.
Oh.
I'm going to give it a little tap and it should come out. You ready? Oh, there we go, some of it out. Oh. And last bit. Oh my word.
Wow.
That wasn't easy. I tell you, little Suzuki Jeep ones are so much simpler. They just fall apart. And that is why you wash your gearbox first. Got all the dirt in there. Bad. It's alright because this is going. Oh, I've just seen another circlip. You're an asshole. I hate you. Maybe I can get my own back and do this in one go. So frigging close. It's half out, Sam.
I'm so glad that didn't take long.
It wasn't going to happen if it took long.
No.
It was like, you're going to come. You're strapped.
Boom.
That's a big bearing.
Yeah.
Size of that. That's a monster. It's like a double race one. Coolio. Okay, well, we've successfully destroyed something else.
Yay!
And my patience.
Yeah.
Okay, done.
Didn't
Nice.
They say low sweat technology. I
Bullshit.
kind of believe it for me though, because I get really freaking sweaty hands, like especially with those hairdressing gloves.
Yeah.
Then they're not as good as those. They're not low sweat.
Shit. Not good. Wow. What a ball ache that one turned out to be, that last circlip. I can think of many, many words to describe it, Sam, but I'm sure YouTube would ban me for every single one of them. That's exactly how I feel right now. I really want to talk to the engineer that put the circlip where he put the circlip. Cheers, mate. Anyway, losing my voice again. So we dug our way all the way through that transfer box. Turns out it was chain drive, which I had a hunch it might be. Very happy about that. I quite like to see the old chain drive, and it was in really good nick. The links were all still very tight, so it obviously hadn't done much work in its life. And other than a broken exterior wire, we didn't find anything wrong with it, did we? There's a lot wrong with it now, though. It's not going to go back together, that's for sure. So there you go. Inside a Mitsubishi four-wheel drive transfer box, and it's the full-time four-wheel drive one that has the internal center diff. Great fun, pretty basic, and you need lots of patience. Cheers, Sam. I'll be doing that later on after the cider, I reckon. So if you've got any questions or comments, fire them down the bottom, and I'll do my very best to answer them. Like I said, there was no faults as such with this particular gearbox, and pretty simple inside. Nothing else to say, really. But that's how you can pull one apart, or maybe not, who knows. I would recommend, though, that you get the service manual, because we did waste a bit of time trying to work out what was the first step, but we got there in the end. A bit of intuition and a big hammer. Yeah.
Always the hammer.
Yeah, always the hammer. And I mean, I like the magic hammer. The magic hammer.
There's two options.
Yeah, there's two options for a start. It's always oily, which is the worst part about it, because we use it when we're in desperate measures. But it only has a limited amount of magic inside it, and if you expire the magic, well, then you've got to go and find a unicorn. I'm not going to say any more than that, but magic hammers, worth their weight in unicorns they are. Right. Okay, well, if you enjoyed the video, why not click on the subscribe button? You'll see a little gear icon. Click on the gear icon, then you can tick the box and turn on notifications. And I usually upload 2 or 3 videos a week. Normally, it's been a bit of a drought for the last month, but I've been away, couldn't help it. Right, Sam, you're on this side, aren't you now? There you go. So, if you want to have a chat or whatever, do a bit of, what do you call it, stalking? Stalking. Do a bit of stalking, then you'll find me on Facebook and all the rest. Go on, Sam, all yours.
Instagram, Google+, and Twitter.
And Twitter, that's right. And you'll also find a Patreon account hiding away, and there's a link on the main YouTube, Andy Mechanic YouTube page. There's a link to Patreon there. Check it out. There's some more stuff all about what we do on there, and there's a project that's coming up. You can also, if you want, you can buy, and they're well tested now, you can actually buy one of the Andy Mechanic YouTube shirts online, and there's a link again. I'll put it in the description for you, but it's also on the homepage of the YouTube channel. You click on that, it's a funny little fuzzy grey icon, God knows what it is. Click on that, it takes you through to where you can actually buy one of these shirts online. And there is a competition we're running, where if you do decide to buy a shirt, take a selfie in your own workshop, or if you haven't got your own workshop, just pop the bonnet in your car and have the, some kind of automotive background is all I'm looking for. Post it on Instagram and tag in Andy Mechanic, the Instagram Andy Mechanic, and you'll go into a draw each month to win some Teng tools. Bloody good, eh? Cheers, Teng. Appreciate that. Yeah, it's a really good deal. Very, very chuffed they came on board with that. But this shirt has definitely been well tried and tested today. It's dripping in sweat, and no doubt it's going to get washed next. Yes, without doubt. Okay, crew. Well, it's goodbye from me.
Goodbye.
And goodbye.
We'll be back next time.
Yeah, goodbye for Two Girls Sam. And we'll see you next time. There will be another video with Sam on board, for sure. She's great. Cheers, crew. Over and out. Hey, Two Girls Sam. How are you?
Back.
You're back. Fantastic.
So long.
I know, and I've got a new shirt, so I thought it's only right that I give you a new shirt too. So there you go.
So excited for my new shirt, and I don't have to wear different shirts every day. And as a classic Tool Girl Sam move, I am going to wear it like this. Wow, would you look at that? I'd say that is a great present for your girlfriend if she's into tools. If she's not, she's probably into tools because you're a tool. See what I did there? Tool girl shirt, perfect.